You know, when a new pope is elected, that very first official letter he writes, it's called an encyclical, is a huge deal. It's not just some message, it's basically his mission statement. They call it a programmatic text, and it's really the blueprint for his entire papacy. So when Benedict XVI sat down to write his, you can bet the world was watching. What was he going to say?
So let's really dig into this. I mean, think about it. The world is full of complicated issues, right? Theology, politics, just modern life. Out of all of that, what would he pick as his anchor? What's the one single idea he's going to build his whole legacy on?
And the answer was love. That's right. His first encyclical, the mission statement for his whole papacy, was called Deus Caritas Est. It literally means God is love. He decided to go straight to the heart of it all, the most fundamental and maybe the most misunderstood concept we have.
Now, he wasn't just talking about love in some, sentimental greeting card kind of way. No, he was getting at a very specific problem, a kind of myth that's been confusing our culture for centuries, this idea that love is somehow divided against itself.
And he did this by calling for something he termed a de-Platonization of love. Okay, I know, de-Platonization sounds super academic and complicated, but hang with me, because the idea behind it is actually pretty straightforward. Basically, for a really long time, Western thinking has split love into two different camps, almost like they're competing. You've got the lower, physical kind of love, and then the higher, spiritual kind. Benedict was basically saying, it's time to tear down that wall.
And this is the false choice he was talking about. On one side, you have eros. That's the bodily, passionate, I desire you kind of love, the one that often gets a bad rap for being selfish or even dangerous. And on the other side, you've got agape. That's the spiritual, selfless, I give myself to you love, the kind that's held up as pure and divine. And our culture is constantly telling us we have to pick one, that one is good and the other one is bad.
Okay, and this is where Benedict really makes his most revolutionary point. He says this whole division, it's a myth. These two things, eros and agape, they aren't enemies battling it out for your heart. No, they're actually two inseparable halves of the same thing.
All right, so let's break these down a bit. First up, you've got eros. Think of this as ascending love. It's that deep human yearning, that desire, that search for beauty and real connection. It's the kind of love that says, I need you, because it sees something good and beautiful outside of itself that it wants, and really needs to be one with.
And then you have its counterpart, agape. If eros ascends, agape descends. It's not about getting, it's all about giving. This is that selfless, sacrificial love that just pours itself out for others without asking for anything back. It's the love that simply says, I am here for you.
And here's the absolute kicker, the point Benedict is driving home. Real, true love needs both. See, eros on its own, without agape, can just become selfish and possessive, a raw taking. But flip that around. Agape without eros can become kind of cold, detached. It's missing that human passion and desire. As he says, they are profoundly united. You just can't have a complete love with only half the equation.
Okay, so if real love is this incredible union of body and soul, of wanting and giving, well, that brings up a pretty big question, right? How on earth are we supposed to pull that off? I mean, where does a love that big, that complete, actually come from?
And this is where the encyclical really gets to its theological heart. Benedict's answer is that this kind of love, it doesn't actually start with us. It's not about our own effort or our willpower or even our best intentions. That's not the source. The real source, he says, is the primacy of God's love.
He lays out this process that's almost like a flow. Step one, it all starts with God loving us first. Love isn't a task we have to perform. It's a gift we receive. Then step two, by accepting that love, we actually start to participate in it, and that changes us from the inside out. And it's only then, step three, that we become truly capable of loving other people with that same powerful, giving love. It's a response. It's not something we can just gin up on our own.
But hey, this isn't just some abstract idea to think about by yourself. The whole point of getting this love is to turn it right back around and unleash it on the world. And Benedict, he saw this as nothing less than a revolution of love. A revolution? Why such a strong word? Because this unified love is supposed to be the ultimate answer to a world that is, as he put it, so often cruel.
This isn't some passive feeling. It's an active, world-changing force that's meant to go right up against injustice, suffering, and indifference, wherever you find it.
And he makes it super clear that we are not just talking about some vague feeling of being nice to people. This love has to become visible, tangible. It has to show up in concrete realities, like just in the simple way we treat our neighbor, but then it scales up to social concretions, the actual work of building just and compassionate communities. And it goes all the way up to political concretions, actively shaping our societies to protect the vulnerable and really truly serve the common good.
So the whole argument builds up to this incredible vision, right? A world totally transformed by a love that's both human and divine, both passionate and selfless. But the encyclical ends by hinting at one final piece of the puzzle, a secret, almost.
And so, we're left with this really powerful, provocative question. We've established that this revolutionary love starts with God and that it's meant to change everything. But according to Benedict, what is the very special source, that one specific place in the world from which this revolutionary love secretly flows? The encyclical, of course, gives an answer, leaving all of us to think about where that current of world-changing love really, truly begins.